tree creation assignment. The first thing you're going to do in this assignment is go to Flickr and find an image of a tree. Then you're going to save it in your documents, bring it into Adobe Illustrator, and set it as a template. Remember, to do that, you just need to double-click on the layer and click the template option. Because this is my original image, but I've set it as a template so I can trace over it easily. So you're going to use the pen tool to draw out the stump of the tree. Of course, you are going to be drawing onto a blank new layer, and as you go, you'll probably want to have your fill off as you're drawing, but make sure you turn it on every once in a while to check to make sure it is going to fill the way you want it to. Okay, what I recommend doing is to do a chunk of each tree kind of on different layers. So I would do probably this whole branch, this section, on one layer, and then start a new layer and a new looped shape for the next branch. And the reason for that is if you try to do the whole tree trunk and then loop it at the end, a lot of people have had trouble filling it. Okay? So I'm just going to quickly, this isn't going to be perfect. So for example, instead of going up here, I'm going to come down and probably make this all part of it. Add that curve in there. And see how that loop's coming up? I can loop that. Because now if I try to fill it, it's going to fill properly. Okay? Then I can go on to a new layer and then do this chunk as a shape. Okay? And then go on a new layer and then do this chunk as a shape. And then at the end I can group all my layers together so it makes a whole shape. If you do it that way, you're always making sure you're looping as you're going so it will fill properly. Okay? So when you're done, you should have your trunk all outlined and filled and grouped together. Okay? And then you can go in and you can add some grass. So for this, I've just used my pen tool, created a shape, and filled it with green. I also have a black stroke, a thin black stroke on here to make it a little bit more cartoony. Then you can go in and add a blue background. For this, I just did a square, a blue square, and put it behind all my other layers. Easy peasy. Then what you are going to do is you need to create a leaf that you're going to make a stamp out of. Okay? So I just copied it right from Flickr and pasted it in. Now I'm going, so this is the leaf that I found on Flickr. I just copied it, pasted it in, and what I'm going to do is set that as a template. Now I'm going to use my pen tool on a new layer to draw my leaf. I'm going to choose to get rid of some of that stem. Yeah, that's a bit better. Okay, so once I have my leaf, it's going to go in and once I have my leaf outlined, I can go in there and add the color that I want my leaf to be. I can do a nice fall leaf color or a bright green leaf. Trash that. Now, we're going to learn how to use the symbol sprayer. So I'm going to tear that off, and I will want to be able to see the symbols brush, the symbols menu. If you don't see this on the side, you can go up to Window and go to Symbols, and you'll find it there. You're going to take your leaf that you've created. First of all, I need to group these. So I'm going to hold down Shift, select them, right click, and group. Now when I move it, it should move together. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to take that and drag it up to the symbols, and OK. Now I can delete this, go to a blank layer. I want to see my tree trunk. Well, I'm going to put the leaves on. Go to my blank layer, go to my symbols, make sure my leaf, so this is one that I created before and I actually like that better. Okay, so create whichever leaf you want to use there, and with the symbol sprayer, you're going to click this, and you can just spray the leaves on. It's kind of neat. Don't worry too much about placement yet. So once you have a good amount sprayed on your tree, you can go and use this, which changes the placement of the leaves. So if you want to squish them in more, you can do that to squish some of them in. Or shift them, I guess. It's called the shifter tool. So if you have some random ones off of your tree, this is a good thing to use to shift them onto the tree. Then here, you can use the scruncher tool, which will kind of scrunch them together if you want to do that. This one is a sizer, so if you want to make some of them bigger, you can do that. This one looks like the rotator, so you can change the directions of the leaves, make them look a little bit more natural. That's not what I wanted to do. This one's pretty cool. It's a stainer tool, so you can click on that. You need to select a fill. So say I want green, but I think it's almost fall, so I'm going to add some yellow here because they're starting to die, the leaves. Okay, so you can kind of stain them that way. Screener, if you want to make some go a little bit transparent, you can do that with the screener. Kind of is a little bit neat there too. Yeah. So just play around with the symbol sprayer. You need to use a symbol sprayer in this assignment because that's one of the tools that I wanted you to learn. Once you have your leaves on your tree, you can go in and pull up your ground. You need a ground. I don't want to see any floating trees. And your background. And voila. Okay? Have fun with it. Be creative. Make sure you find a picture of a tree that's interesting, right? Let me just show you a couple quick examples here of student work. Tree. This one I believe was Marina Mills. She put some stars in. This one's actually really well done. I think this one's Bailey Macrobides. It has some hills in the background. This one's quite nice too. This one's kind of from a neat angle. This is Tyler Lyons'. His leaves kind of have a different quality to them. Yeah, so there's a few examples for you. Have fun. Let me know if you have questions.